Hello everyone. So let's start with the AIIMS test paper solution. A hydrocarbon contains 92.31% by weight of carbon. Okay. So what is the empirical formula? Yes, that is the molar ratio, and this will be right. So you can find out the molar ratio, right? So the correct answer will be CH. It will come out to be 1 by 1. Clear? Same empirical formula. Okay. So CH4, C2H6, no chance of same empirical formula. Ethine is C2H2 and propyne is C3H4, right? Is that clear? And this is ethene is C2H4 and propene is C3H6. So yes, they can have same empirical formula. Is that clear? What will be the empirical formula? It will be CH2, right? CH2 of twice ethene and CH2 of thrice propene. Is that clear? Right? Percentage by weight of oxygen and NaOH. Okay, the mass of oxygen is 16, the molar mass of NaOH is 40 multiplied by 100. So you can find out the percentage of oxygen. Empirical formula weight of a compound is 30, compound cannot be. Okay, what is the molecular mass of sucrose? It is 342, glucose is 180, acetic acid is 60, and formaldehyde you can find out it is 30. So the molecular mass should be an integral multiple. Okay, it should be an exact multiple of the empirical formula mass. So obviously this cannot be, right? So this becomes our correct answer. Volume of oxygen required for the complete combustion of 1 liter of ethane. Okay, for that you have to write the combustion equation. Ethane C2H6, it reacts with oxygen, it gives 2 CO2 and 3 H2O. Okay, so it is 7 by 2, that is 3.5. So 1 liter it is 3.5 liter. That becomes our correct answer. Is that clear? 4 grams of hydrogen is heated with 4 gram of oxygen. This is the reaction. Now for 4 gram of hydrogen you need 32 gram of oxygen, but we only have 4 gram of oxygen. So oxygen is our limiting reagent. So definitely which is the excess reagent? Hydrogen. Okay, is that clear? Now see, 32 gram reacts with 4 gram. 32 gram oxygen reacts with 4 gram hydrogen. So 4 gram reacts with 4 by 32 multiplied by 4, right? It will be 16 by 32, it will be 0.5 gram. So 0.5 gram of hydrogen will react. So what will be the left behind? It is 4 minus 0.5, it is 3.5. So this will be your correct answer. Is that clear? 1 mole of sulfuric acid required 100 gram of NaOH. Caustic soda is NaOH, okay? So H2SO4 2 NaOH, okay, that is the reaction. Now you can see 1 mole, for this 1 mole you need 2 mole of NaOH and the molar mass of NaOH is 40. So by mass you need 40 multiplied by 2, that is 80 gram of NaOH, okay, but we actually need 100 grams. So what is the percentage purity? Obviously 80, right, because 80 is the exact amount and we have to take 100 gram. So the percentage purity will be 80. Clear? Weight of 50% pure KClO3 required to liberate 33.6 liter. Okay. Now you'll have to write the balanced chemical equation. Right? So 3 mole of oxygen comes from 2 mole of KClO3. Okay. If I convert it to corresponding volume and mass, then this will be 3 multiplied by 22.4 liter oxygen and 2 multiplied by, you can find out the molecular weight of KClO3. Okay, let us call it m gram. And now if we need 33.6%, 33.6 liter of oxygen. Okay, so for that you can calculate the amount of KClO3 required. That will be x gram, but because the sample is 50% pure, you will actually require double the amount, because it is 50% pure. So the correct answer you can find out, it will come out to be 245 gram. Clear? At 300 Kelvin, 10 ml of ethylene, C2H4. So let us write the combustion equation. It is 2CO2 and 2H2O. So it is 3, okay. So if you have 10 ml of ethylene, for complete combustion, we need 30 ml of oxygen, right? And then we get 20 ml of CO2. Water on cooling will liquefy, right? Vapor will liquefy, so we'll discount it basically. So 10 ml of ethylene is subjected to combustion with 40 ml of oxygen. 30 ml of oxygen is consumed. So what volume of oxygen will remain behind? 10 ml. And what volume of carbon dioxide will form? 20 ml. So what is the volume of gases overall on cooling? That is 30 ml. Clear, guys? 6 gram of hydrogen is heated with 30 gram of nitrogen. Okay, so this is famous Haber's process, right? Now this is 6 gram and this is 28 gram as per the balanced chemical equation, and we are taking 6 gram with 30 grams. So obviously our nitrogen is excess reagent and hydrogen is limiting reagent. So all will react and we will get 34 gram of ammonia, right? Because the entire mass of hydrogen will react in the reaction. Volume of oxygen at STP required for the combustion of 0.5 gram atom of sulfur. Oh, it's very simple equation. S plus O2 gives SO2. 1 gram atom is 1 mole. Remember, do not make a mistake there. So 0.5 gram atom is 0.5 mole, right? So this is also 0.5 mole, which is 11.2 liter, right? Because the molar volume is 22.4 liter. 22.4 liter each of H2 and Cl2. Okay. Now hydrogen is 22.4 liter and chlorine is 22.4 liter. It produces V liters of HCl. Obviously, as per this equation, we will get 44.8 liter of HCl. Okay, guys. Now V liters of this HCl can exactly neutralize W gram of Na2CO3. What is the reaction of Na2CO3 plus HCl, right? I hope you can write this equation. H2O plus CO2, okay. So for 44.8 liter is 2 mole. For 2 mole of HCl, we need 1 mole of Na2CO3. And what is the mass of 1 mole of Na2CO3? It will be 106. Clear, guys? 2 mole of SO2 requires X mole of O2. Yes, so this is the equation, right? So 2 mole of SO2, I need 1 mole. So X is 1. X mole of this oxygen required Y moles of carbon monoxide. Okay, now this is O2 plus CO gives what will happen? CO2. Balance this equation. This. Is that clear? So correct answer will be 2. Right? Next question. 0.2 mole of barium hydroxide. See, barium hydroxide is a diacidic base. Its N factor is 2. So the normality will be gram equivalents, which will be number of moles multiplied by N factor divided by 100 ml of solution. So you can find out. It's very easy. Okay, guys. Normality of 2 molar solution of potassium ferro is Fe2 plus. Ferro is Fe2 plus, so it will be 4 minus, right? So the N factor of this salt is 4. So basically normality will be 8, molarity multiplied by N factor. Clear? What is not a favorable condition for the formation of ionic bond? Obviously high charge of cation, because if the cation has high charge, its polarizing power will also be high and resulting in less ionic character. An element Y has 1 valence electron, obviously it is going to lose that electron, and another element has 7 valence electron, it will gain that electron. Okay, so the formula of the compound will be Y plus and X minus, because it will lose Y plus, it will gain X minus. Clear? Minimum ionic character among the following. This one, because iodine is largest, it is most easily polarizable, right? Element A and B differ in the electronegativity by 3 units. So if the electronegativity difference is greater than 1.9, we can say the bond is ionic. So ionic bond. Clear? Ionic bond formation is a redox reaction. Yes, an electron is transferred from the element that loses electron to the element that gains an electron. Ionic reactions are fast reactions? Yes, because ions are already split up. They do not require any activation energy. They are fast reactions. This is the correct answer. All the following molecules have superoctet except obviously CCl4, 8 valence electrons. It has 10 valence electrons, it has 12 valence electrons, and it has how many electrons? 8 and 10 electrons. Is that clear? Formal charge on carbon, you can see it is 0, 0, 0. Right, so this is the correct answer. Electrovalency of fluorine in aluminum fluoride. See, fluorine gains 1 electron, so the electrovalency of fluorine is 1, always 1. Formal charge of an atom in a molecule can be 0. Yes, it can be 0. We saw in CO2, right? All the formal charges were 0. Formal charge of oxygen in CO is -2. No, right? Formal charge on oxygen is +1 because formal charge is number of valence electrons in free atom, which is 6 for oxygen, minus number of non-bonding electrons 2, and minus half the number of bonding electrons, which is 3. So it is +1 and not +2, right? So statement 1 is correct and statement 2 is incorrect. Clear, guys? Weight of urea dissolved in 150 gram of 20% weight by weight of aqueous solution. Okay, now obviously 100 gram solution contains 20 gram of urea. So 150 gram of solution, obviously it will be 1.5 times. So 30 gram. Clear? Density of the solution is 0.5 gram per cc, weight by volume percent of 40% weight by weight. So let's take 100 gram of solution. It will contain 40 gram of solute. Is that clear? Now let us find out the volume of solution. It is mass by density. Mass is 100 gram, right? Density is 0.5. So it will be 200 ml. It will be 200 ml, and then you can find out the weight by volume percentage. It will be the mass of solute, which is 40 gram divided by 200 ml multiplied by 100. Clear, guys? Cation with the highest polarizing power, it is proportional to the charge on the cation. So it is 4 plus. Clear? Can have maximum covalent character. Obviously these are group 1 compounds, so their ionic size is large, so they have more of ionic character. So which is AgCl, it's a pseudo inert gas configuration, it is more polarizing, greater covalent character. Okay. Electrovalency of metal and non-metal are same in calcium oxide. Calcium is +2, oxygen is -2, right? Their electrovalencies are same. It is a magnitude, okay, that we look at. Change in enthalpy for the following process is considered as a lattice enthalpy. Okay, lattice enthalpy means lattice is breaking down or either it is forming from the gaseous ions. So which is the correct answer? This, from the gaseous ions our lattice is forming, right? Clear? These values are given to you guys and change in enthalpy for the process. So if you see carefully, sodium is converting to this and chlorine is converting to this. So you can say sodium is undergoing two processes. First, we are subliming sodium, right? We are converting solid sodium to gaseous sodium. So what is the enthalpy change? Sublimation enthalpy of sodium is 108 plus, then we are removing an electron, ionization enthalpy of sodium, which is given to be 492. Then it's a diatomic molecule, you are converting it to atom first, because only then you can define electron gain enthalpy, right? So half of the bond enthalpy, bond dissociation enthalpy of chlorine is 243. So it will be half of 243, okay? And then that gaseous chlorine atom will gain an electron to finally give you this. So this is electron gain enthalpy of chlorine is -349. So you can do this simple addition, subtraction, division, you will get your final answer, okay? The correct answer is 372.5 kilojoule, correct? Okay. Formula of an ionic compound formed between second group element and 17th. Okay, it will lose 2 electrons, it gains 1 electron, so we cross multiply the valency, right? Like this, so mx2, clear? Least bond order. There is a single bond, there is a double bond, there is a triple bond, and in case of ozone, because there is resonance, so we average out the bond parameters, it is 1.5. The correct answer is 1, least bond order, clear? Then you have to match with the bond order. Ethane has single bonds, right? Ethyne has a triple bond, and benzene, because of the resonance, again the bond properties are averaged. So there are basically 1.5 bonded, right, because of resonance, like that. So ethene, it's a double bond, right? Clear? So you get the correct answer. All the following species exhibit resonance except, okay, which you think cannot accept? Okay, oxygen. Except oxygen, every other species can exhibit resonance because, right, carbon dioxide also exhibits resonance by triple and single bond, and sulfate ion, we already know that there is a resonance in it. 1 mole of sodium bicarbonate on strong heating suffers a now for this you should know how does it decompose. When sodium bicarbonate is heated, it forms Na2CO3 plus H2O plus CO2, okay. The suffers a loss in weight, by that he means water and CO2, you can calculate, okay. For 2 mole it is 1 mole of this, 44 plus 18, how much is it? 62, so for 1 mole it will be 31 gram, clear guys, right. 4 liter of carbon dioxide when passed over, okay, carbon dioxide, and we are passing it over red hot coke completely. So what will happen? It will undergo reduction and it will form carbon monoxide. We have 4 liters of it, okay, and we are passing it over red hot carbon. So basically it will be 2CO, right. So from 4 liters CO2 you will get 8 liter of carbon monoxide, clear that, right. 3 grams of carbon on complete combustion liberates V liters of gas, okay. Carbon, coke is carbon, right, so it is CO2, moles of carbon is 3 by 12, that is 0.25, so this will also be 0.25 mole. Now how to find out the volume? You multiply it by 22.4 liter, yes, right, at STP, so this will come out to be 5.6 liters, clear, okay. 50 gram of limestone on calcination liberated 16.5 gram of CO2. What is limestone? Calcium carbonate. What does it give you on decomposition? This, okay. Now the molar mass of calcium carbonate is 100 gram, alright, and it is giving you carbon dioxide, okay. So the molar mass of carbon dioxide is 44 grams. So you can see 50 gram should have given 22 gram. So technically we should have obtained 22 grams of CO2, but we are getting 16.5. So you can find out what is the percentage purity, right. So it will come out to be 75%, clear guys. At 300 Kelvin, 20 ml of hydrocarbon required 50 ml of oxygen, during which 40 ml of carbon dioxide is liberated. Remember that relation, CXHY gives XCO2, right. So if 20 ml of hydrocarbon is giving me 40 ml of CO2, the amount is double. So the value of X is 2, right, there are 2 carbon. So this is out, okay. Now you have to find out the amount of oxygen is 2.5 times, right. 20 ml, for 20 ml of hydrocarbon we need 50 ml of oxygen, 2.5 times. So like for ethylene, let's do it for correct, right, you can do for the rest. C2H2 plus oxygen, it gives you 2 CO2 plus H2O, okay. So this is basically how much? Yeah, it is 5 by 2, yes, correct, it will be 2.5 times, right. 1 mole each of ethane, methane, ethene and ethyne is subjected to combustion. The hydrocarbon which requires maximum amount of oxygen is the one that is most saturated, the one that has maximum number of carbon atoms, okay. So it is ethane, right, it is most saturated, it is maximum number of carbon atoms. Molarity of 20% weight by volume solution, okay. Now molarity is simple, 20% weight by solution means 100 gram solution contains 20 gram of solute. So moles is 20 mass by 40 molar mass divided by 100 ml of solution, okay. So you can multiply it by 1000 to account for liter and you will get your answer, clear guys. Ionic compounds do not show space isomerism, correct. Ionic solids are very good conductors of electricity, not in solid state, right. So basically second statement is incorrect, clear. 10 gram of HCl is dissolved in 90 gram of water, weight by weight, it is simple, 10 gram of HCl and total 100 gram of solution, right? So this is the easiest question on earth. Formal charge of nitrogen and nitrite. So you can find out 5 electrons on free nitrogen atom minus how many non-bonding electrons 2 and how many bonds it is forming 3. So basically it is 0. Clear guys? Okay, we have to find, it's similar to that, right? Sodium gas is giving you sodium cation gas, right? So ionization enthalpy, which is 492, and chlorine gas is converting to chloride gas, right? So basically electron enthalpy of which is plus of negative 349. So you can calculate this, it's very easy. Answer will come out to be 143, right? Identify the correct statement from the following. The compound with maximum ionic characteristics is fluoride, yes, largest cation, smallest anion, right? So there is no chances of polarization of anion. Ionic solids are crystalline, yes, they are crystalline. Ionic solids have high melting and boiling points, correct. The second group element which forms predominantly covalent compounds is beryllium, yes, that is correct, because beryllium has very small size, so the polarizing power is more, right? Identify correct statement from the following. Energy of resonance hybrid is less than the energy, yes, because resonance hybrid is the actual and the most stable structure. Resonance averages out the bond parameters, yes, that is why in carbonate ion, ozone we find out the average bond parameter. Canonical forms have no real existence, yes, they are just a way of representation. There exists a dynamic equilibrium between the canonical forms, no, because they are not real, so how can we talk of a dynamic equilibrium? So this is incorrect and this becomes your correct answer, right? CO bond order in carbonate ion. We all know the structure of carbonate ion. The total number of bonds is 4 and the total bond position is 3. So it will come out to be 1.33. Clear guys? Non-directional bond. Non-directional bonds are ionic bonds, right? So this is covalent, this is covalent, this is covalent. This becomes your answer. Ionic bond is non-directional. Clear guys? So that's all for the solution. Thank you.